Hi everyone, and welcome to another model review from Class 47 Peter, and in today's video we're here to have a look at another model made by DJ Models. This time, this model is produced exclusively for Kernow Model Rail Centre, as you can clearly see on the box. And today we're here to have a look at the GWR 1361 Saddle Tank 060. Now I did have the Helgen model of the GWR 1361, however I have sold that model off to get the DJ Models version instead, as I'm sure you're all probably aware of, because I did upload a temporary video advertising the model for sale, which has now been removed from YouTube because I've since sold that model off. But even though this model is produced exclusively for Kernow, I bought this model from Hatton's because Hatton's have now got these in stock, and so I bought mine from Hatton's along with a couple of other new wagons as well. The livery I've gone for is BR black with the early emblem. The Helgen GWR 1361 I had was in GWR green. I decided to go for the BR black early emblem one because it makes a change. I mean, I do have quite a few GWR locos in GWR green anyway, so it's nice to get a BR livery one for a change. But also I was inspired to get the BR black one after I saw several pictures on the internet of these in this livery. But anyway, without further ado, let's get this model open and see what it's like. So first of all, we'll remove the top of the box. Very nice design of box this is. I do like the design on the front. Very nice firm rigid box as well. So I'll put that to one side. Then here we have the instruction manual, which we shall take a look at now. So it tells you a bit of history about the GWR 1361 and a couple of photos of the real locomotive. So it talks to you about running in, which I shall do that first, obviously when we put her on the track. They recommend about 30 minutes in each direction, but I find 10 or even 15 minutes will do. And then after that, light lubrication may be required in certain places, which you can reference from the images there. But you know, that's not always necessary, because you know, the models do usually get oiled at the factory. But nonetheless, but you know, it's up to you really. You can do it if you want. It also talks to you about removing the body as well, the accessory bag, fitting a DCC decoder. We've all seen it before. So I'll put that to one side, and I'll go in my folder later on where I keep all my instruction manuals. And then this is the exploded diagram or spares sheet, because basically on the diagram here all the parts are numbered, and if you turn to the back all the parts are listed. So if a part should get lost or damaged, then you can simply order a replacement. Then we remove the foam cover from the box. And there is the model. I mean, just look at that. I haven't even got it out yet, and already it looks stunning. Well, but before we do that, we have a accessory bag here with some fire irons, which I'll put those to one side, and I will probably add them on the loco later, or at least some of them. Then we can take off the plastic cover, and we have this other accessory bag, which we shall have a look at the contents inside this first, before we look at the model itself. So in the accessory bag we have a couple of chain link couplings, some brake and vacuum pipes, and we have a few lamps as well. So with the detail parts in the accessory bag now looked at, we can now finish the unboxing. So just undo the clip of the box, lift up the top, and we gently lift the model out of the packaging, and we can now have a look at the model in closer detail. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, as I always do in these reviews, is talk about how heavy the model is. And this is a heavy model, so there's a lot of weight in this. Even though it's a small loco, but it's really important for the weight to be in these locomotive models, especially in the small tank engine models like this one, because the weight is crucial, because it provides the traction. And if there's no weight in these models, then this model won't have any traction, so therefore it won't be able to pull any trains. So this model has more than enough weight in it to be able to do just that. Now we move on to the detail. So first of all, we have sprung buffers, as you can see, and they are plastic buffers as well. So if you like your sprung buffers, then they'll keep you happy. I don't have much care for them, but they're there on the model regardless. On the buffer beam we have a lot of rivet detail, as well as the dummy coupling hook and a couple of holes for the vacuum and brake pipes to go into. Plus we have the little coupling storage hook there, just under that buffer there, as you can see. We have some guard irons on the front of the model. The slim tension lock coupling to this model are already fitted, although I might remove the one at the front of the loco and just keep the one at the back and have this front with the detail on. I don't know yet, we'll see. We have some separately fitted lamp irons on the running board. On the smoke box door we have the locomotive's running number 1362 crisply printed on the smoke box door number plate there. We also have some separately fitted smoke box door darts, a separately fitted lamp iron on top of the smoke box door on the smoke box there. Lots of rivets on the front of the smoke box around the smoke box door. We also have a shed code, and this shed code is 83B, which was the shed code for Taunton. And now for a usual feature that you see with DJ models steam locos. Excuse my giant fingers, but the smoke box door is removable and it's held in place with magnets, and in there we have the circuit board. So basically you just pull that out and fit the DCC decoder in. It's quite a neat little feature, if I do say so myself. So now I'll put the smoke box door back on the model, as you can see. On the running board we have lots of rivets, as you can see. We have a separately fitted metal handrail on the smoke box there, which runs on the sides of the smoke box and up on top of the smoke box door there on the front. We have a nice chimney, as you can see there, and some nice rivet detail on the bottom of the chimney there. We have loads of rivets on the saddle tanks. We have a very nice dome as well. The water filler cap with a nice little handle on there. Separately fitted metal handrails there on the saddle tanks, as well as the typical GWR safety valve and the whistles there behind it. Also we have glazing in the cab windows too. We have some nice rivet detail on the cylinders. Now just look at the link motion on this model, the side rods, the slide bars and the valve gear. I can't wait to see all that moving, just like you do on the real thing. It's also worth mentioning too that the slide bars, they are at an angle, just like on the prototype, rather than being straight on, so that's a nice feature to have on this model. On the running board there we have some lamp irons, which they store lamps on them, should the crew need to do so. Under the saddle tanks there you can see wheel arches with springs on top of them, as you can see. We have visible daylight there under the boiler and under the saddle tanks there, which is nice. We also have a toolbox there on the running board, and just behind the toolbox we have some steam pipe in there. We also have some pipe work running along the running plate there as well, as you can see. Loads of rivets on the bunker and cab sides there, as well as some separately fitted metal handrails, and the GWR number plate there with the loco's running number 1362. Moving to the cab now, which is not particularly interesting to look at, but there is some rivet detail there, as well as the roof vent on the top just here, which doesn't open, but that doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to show you the cab interior. I've had to get a little torch because I can't really see very well inside there, but just look at that. The gauges, the dials, the regulator and the levers, it's all painted, and it looks just like the real thing, and it adds so much more detail to the model. We also have the footsteps under the cab there, can't forget those. On the rear windows of the cab we have the guide irons there, as you can see, and there's also glazing in the rear cab windows too. We have lots of rivets on the bunker and separately fitted lamp irons. We have the hooks for the fire irons to go onto. More rivets on the buffer beam, dummy coupling hook, and just like on the front of the loco, plastic sprung buffers. Now we move on to the livery application, and the livery is just stunning, it's spot on. Correct shade of black, very nice even coat, no errors in the paintwork, it just looks superb. And of course we have the crisply printed BR early emblems there. And I do love these logos, I do. The early emblem has to be my favourite, I think. Moving around to the other side of the loco, we do have some detail differences on this side. On this side of the loco, the toolbox on the running board is absent, as well as the lamp irons on the running board, but we do have the reversing lever there, as you can see, just under the saddle tanks there. Also we have that bit of pipe work there, which you can just see under the running board there, under the running plate. We also have this bit of detail just here, where I'm pointing to, just there. Excuse the dodgy camera work slightly. No idea what that bit of detail is for, but it's there. But apart from those differences, the rest of the detail is the same. Now we come on to the running performance for the DJ model's GWR 1361, and as you can see straight from the box, she's a smooth runner. She's a bit noisy, that goes without saying, but then again she will need some running in, and I'm sure that will improve after she has had some running in. However, there are no grinding noises or stuttering movements or motors burning out. She runs exactly how she should do straight from the box. Now we come to the loaded test run for the DJ model's GWR 1361, and so we've got her pulling a fairly lengthy goods train around the layout. You'll also notice she's running on this line as opposed to the other line that she was running on earlier. This just makes a change and adds a bit of variety in the video. But she's coping rather well with this training. And this just shows you why the weight is important in these locomotives. So overall then, the DJ model's GWR 1361, produced exclusively for Kernow, it's an absolutely stunning model, it really is. Is it just as good as the halogen version? Yes, in fact I do think the DJ models version right here has the edge over the halogen model. Don't get me wrong, the halogen model is still a nice model, but it's just that I think that the DJ models version right here is more detailed than the halogen model. I mean, this model is absolutely flawless, it really is, especially because you've just seen it pull this long rake of wagons around the layout. I mean, this model probably isn't going to pull a rake as long as this again. It'll probably pull significantly shorter goods trains, because I just did this to basically test to see how strong she was, and she's just proved that she can handle these wagons with ease. So I definitely recommend that you get one of these models, because it's stunning. The level of detail on this model the performance, and its strength as well. You know, what else is there to say that I haven't already said? So that now brings us on to the score, and you guys know what this is going to be. It's going to be a 10 out of 10. Why not? How can this model not deserve that score? Because, like I say, she's an absolute stunner, and she more than definitely deserves that score. Well done, DJ Models. And I have to say, DJ Models do make some pretty top-notch and stunning models, they really do. So I do highly recommend the DJ Models range of models, definitely. Especially the ones that I've reviewed before now. But anyway, so that brings us on to this review of the Kernow exclusive GWR 1361 produced by DJ Models. Thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed this review. Check out my other videos, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again soon. And I will be doing a running session of this model as well at some point, so look out for that video too. But till then, look after yourselves and stay safe.